Why hello there my DuckTales amigos, and today we're gonna be talking about the Gandra D episode. Okay, so basically the chemistry of Gandra D, who is a character that was introduced in the original DuckTales, Super DuckTales, and has a completely different character design. I guess this is Disney's way of accepting diversity. I mean, come on, in Gandra D's original design, she looks whiter than a snowflake. And there's honestly not much to say about this episode, so I'm just gonna really jump into it and, yeah. Play that intro. So starting off from the very beginning of the episode, we have Fenton inside of the Gizmo Duck suit doing his duties as a superhero, which begins to become very overwhelming. Something that both he himself realizes and the villain that he's fighting against realizes as well.
You're too busy to finish telling me how busy you are? Gizmo Duck, you're burned out!
Now, another thing within this episode that is revealed is the simple fact that even though Fenton's identity as being Gizmo Duck is supposed to be secret, literally just about everyone in town already knows about his secret identity as a hero. And this point comes across when it comes to the fact that Webby already realizes that Fenton is Gizmo Duck within about 5 seconds of meeting the guy.
You just missed a Gizmo Duck flyby!
You're Gizmo Duck!
Huey, I didn't say anything!
Hi, I'm Webby, nice to see you! Does your suit have a toilet?
And also, within just about a few seconds after realizing that Webby had figured out his identity, in his list you can clearly see that it says that barista at Starducks and everyone who lives on my block. Basically the list of everyone who already knows his identity, and a few others as well. I mean, basically at this point he might as well just get on a stage filled with a group of people surrounding him and Tony Stark it and just be like, I am Gizmo Duck. But anyways, besides all of that and his identity automatically being figured out by a ton of people already, Fenton basically starts meeting Gandra D after going inside of a store where he needs materials for a certain invention of his. And one major similarity between the both of these characters is that they were both willing to voluntarily experiment on themselves to see if their technology would work properly. But at the same time, I guess Huey did technically force all those circuits inside of his brain or something in the beginning, so maybe he didn't voluntarily experiment on himself. But despite her genius and technology and everything else about her, she is working for Mark Beaks in the end. But anyways, in summary, Gandra D is automatically an amazing character simply because she can run electricity currents throughout her body. So just moments later, both Huey and Webby decide to help both Fenton and Gandra get together underwater inside of Gyro's invention lab. A lab that once again gets demolished by the end of this episode because an underwater lab is just still one of the dumbest ideas ever. It will never be a good idea, Gyro. But basically within the date, Gandra actually takes a liking to Fenton until Fenton finds out the fact that she's actually a spy for Mark Beaks. And just like almost every other person inside of Fenton's life, he feels betrayed because the only reason why anyone wants to stay around him is because of the Gizmo Duck suit. So once that's been revealed, Mark Beaks decides to intervene and try to take the Gizmo Duck suit from Fenton and get him to say blathering blatherskite so that way he can activate the suit. Or at least while watching the episode, that's what I had assumed while first watching it. As it turns out, Mark Beaks was able to create tech that he would have to wear on his body, which allowed him to grow in strength. All with the help of Gandra D's blue serum that helps activate the suit alongside with Fenton's quote for the Gizmo Duck suit, blathering blatherskite, which was something that Gandra D was waiting to record him saying.
I drank D's nanite serum and linked it up with stolen Gizmo tech. I just needed your passcode to boot it up.
Blathering blatherskite.
And even though Mark had practically already won the fight between him and Fenton, he takes Huey and Webby anyways in order to reference the movie King Kong. So for once, instead of depending on the Gizmo Duck suit, Fenton bravely goes against Mark by using his very own intelligence. Which I'm only sure is the classic gimmick of brains versus brawn because Mark Beaks is obviously the airheaded one.
I can't use a phone. I can't use a phone! No!
Plus, it was the perfect way to show that Fenton doesn't need the suit in order to be a hero. Wow, that sounds familiar. Eventually, he's helped by Gandra, who uses her freaking awesome electric shock currents, and uses one of his inventions to deactivate the suit. But let me just be real for a second here, okay? This should have killed him, because number one, the whole point of the blue paddle ball invention was that even though it miraculously created energy without a real source, it would become unstable until Gandra gave Fenton the formula to fix the issue towards the end of the episode. And number two, Oh my gosh, I'm begging you writers, please kill him off. Kill this character off. He is so annoying. He's almost as frustrating as Glomgo. Please end my suffering. And yeah, after Mark Beaks is defeated and not dead, Gandra and Mark don't necessarily make amends face to face, but I'm sure that Gandra's on his side now. This is basically the end of the episode, but I want to discuss about the energy paddle ball that's now stabilized. From a scientific standpoint, where would this be used again? Probably later on this season. I'm really hoping that it wasn't an element just brought up in one of the episodes and never brought up again, but I can imagine it being used as a battery of some sort for a future invention, or heck, I mean, maybe even a robot that can assist capturing villains so that way Fenton can take a break every now and then. I mean, surely if it can power up Lil Bulb, the possibilities are endless. But with all of that being said, this has been The Next Big Thing, back again with another DuckTales analysis video. I hope you all enjoyed that. The next one will be the last one before we finally can dive into the DuckTales season finale. I mean, well, season part 2 of season 2 trailer. Yeah, so we're gonna dive into that in the next video after that. And yeah, I can't wait. Thank you all for supporting me after all these years. I'll catch you all in the next one. And yeah, peace.